The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 9th day of August, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpoo, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sister Sherry, how's the sister doing today?
I'm doing just fine.
Something's happening to Sherry's audio, or is it mine?
It's mine. There we go.
Oh, okay. I thought we weren't going to have to hear you today, so. Okay.
Whatever. You definitely just missed me, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You good today?
I am. Wow, Jamal. I went for a walk on the beach this morning, so that was nice. Was able to see a nice young lady who said she watches the show, so I was pretty excited about that. Also want to say a good morning to Miss Dorothea Bassett. Saw her in the grocery store yesterday, and she was again excited to be watching the show. Her daughter was on the show one time, so that was nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
you know what? I'm not mean, folks, but Sherry and these lot just show me up because, like, you know how they come in the room backstage, be like, "Oh yeah, her looks nice," and I'm like, they don't even give me a chance to say it. So you know how she's giving shout out to Miss Bassett now. If I did see you and I haven't given you a shout out, please know it's my head, not my heart. So Miss Dawn, who came up to us at Scoops, and everybody else who I can't remember, what's up? What's up?
So you just pulling names out now. Now that I started it, you just pulling names out.
No, you will
Yeah.
make me remember stuff. That's what.
Yeah, Miss Bassett, she was very lovely. Very,
Yeah.
very lovely. So it was
You're-
very nice too.
You're not mean to people when they come to you and say, "Hey, I'm such and such. Hey, I watched the show." You're not mean to them, are you?
Of course not, Jamal, but I do forget that I sometimes as to how people would know me and or someone says Sherry, I'm like, hey. And I'm like, where do I know this person? But I know him differently. And I want to say good morning to Amanda Blakeney, who I saw on the beach as well this morning.
Oh, good morning to you, Amanda Blakeney. See, Sherry, seeing all these people on the beach. So she's a real person. She's a real person. Good morning to you, cousin Mark Arthur C. Phillips, and good morning to the TDH family, he says. Well, anyway, greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Kalyn Cannonier on from UpLift. Looking forward to this conversation. It's a dispensary, and I believe Bermuda's first dispensary. So interesting times in Bermuda, I'll say that much. The daily play is music today. So
praise the Lord.
She's saying that like she's gonna get it right, folks. I don't know if she's got that one, you know. I'm laughing at you, Sherry.
You are. You like just pushing buttons. It's
yeah,
okay.
I do it like that.
My feet touch the ground, yours didn't.
My feet are touching the ground right now, Sherry. Mine are touching the ground. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Now, let's get into the conversation. So, folks, Bermuda's at a crossroads. We just had a lot of fun for Cup Match. I mean, well, I did. Sherry, you had fun?
I had a blast.
Yeah, we had a blast. Cup Match is where it's at. if we could do cotton match all year round, I would do cotton match. No, I wouldn't. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, your health couldn't take that, Jamal.
Yeah.
And then losing again, like,
Anyway, just right
oh
now,
wow.
as you can hear, I'm a bit stuffed up. I'm sick, but the holiday is over, and the holiday. Once we sober back up, things happen. And if you haven't been paying attention, yesterday, your Premier of Bermuda, David Burt, the Honorable David Burt, held a press conference about Bermuda basically is considering introducing a corporate income tax. Well, let's just give you some details, because this is a very, very important conversation. If any conversation we've had in recent times, this conversation, you may think you have nothing to do with the IB sector. But if you live in Bermuda, the IB sector has everything to do with you. All right? So according to the government website, the government of Bermuda announced that it will issue a public consultation paper as part of its considerations on introducing a corporate income tax to apply to Bermuda businesses that are part of multinational enterprises with annual revenue of 750 euros million or more. The proposed corporate tax will be expected to be effective for 2025. To allow interested parties to offer comments on the proposed tax regime, the government of Bermuda is opening the first of a series of consultation periods. The first consultation will end on September 8th. All right. Bermuda is considering a corporate income tax. So basically, the short version of this is, if I'm not mistaken, the G20, which is made up of the big nations, many of the big nations, including the US, UK, Germany, whatnot. The corporate tax, I think, across the board is 15%. Correct me if I'm wrong, audience. If you understand how IB sector has, why Bermuda has been so attractive, the lack of corporate tax has been a big thing. So the question of the morning for the audience, and this is on you, you don't have to work in the IB sector, but believe it or not, you benefit from it. What can Bermuda do to attract large corporations if it loses its tax advantage? That's the question of the morning. What do you believe? Because at this point, it's going to be equal footing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll use this. I was watching an interview yesterday of one of the minority owners of the Philadelphia 76ers, right? So if you remember, the NBA, the National Basketball Association, introduced a salary cap back in the late 90s. That salary cap meant that New York and LA, which are the two largest cities in the US, can't just overpay for stars, right? And create balance, which meant a team like the Denver Nuggets, which wouldn't attract stars, could win an NBA championship, which they did this year. Does that analogy make sense?
Yeah.
So balance gave everybody an opportunity to win, right? So now you make it balanced. You take away Bermuda's big, asset, like the opportunity to offer low tax rates and to some none at all, right? What does this mean for Bermuda's economy? Folks, I don't know if you understand this, and even if you don't, you better ask some questions. Because if you think things were bad, no, this is not fear-mongering. This is real life. So we need Sanchez says it all the time, we need to get our most intelligent people in the room. And two, we need to be creative.
Yeah.
We need to be creative right now. So the question of the morning, again, is what can Bermuda do to attract large corporations if it loses its tax advantage? That's the question of the morning.
Oh, Jamal, I mean, what can we do? I feel like we're just in this big abyss of or just drowning in everything, right? We're drowning in tourism. Can we attract more tourists? Now we're looking at how can we attract more business, especially if this goes into fruition, right? And I don't know, Jamal. I really don't know. My hands across, my mind is thinking what is there left to do if we can't attract business.
Yeah. Bobby Painter says it's going to cause things to plummet. It is. It's going to cause things to plummet. And, she goes on to say, we don't even have solutions. And that's,
I feel you, Barbie.
it feels like a lost cause, but I'm going to use her. She's a creative person, right? The answers are going to have to come from us. They're going
But
to
do we have enough? I guess it's the question for me. Do we have enough to balance that out?
we once had a safe jurisdiction. We had climate. We had location, right? I still do believe we do have location in some respects, safety, right? Climate, I believe we kind of still have that. So those are three things that can still attract. I mean, our climate's better than New York and most of Europe, right? I think our location in the middle of the Atlantic is still a great thing. And safety, I mean, in comparison with many other similar jurisdictions, I don't think we have a safety issue. So I think those three things, they may seem minimal, but we need to be creative and we need to be fast with the creativity. Like, I mean, our cost of living so high, is that even attractive anymore? What can Bermuda do to attract large corporations if it loses its tax advantage? Sam Cat Place says, I'm still trying to understand how everyone thinks the IB sector isn't taxed. The sector is not the answer to the island's problems. It's government lazy way of trying to solve problems they created. Oh, I agree. I agree, Sam. I agree. I think people think that people don't have any taxes taken out of their pay as well in the IB sector. At the end of the day, this is across the board. This isn't just the IB sector. This is companies like, I don't want to name, but there's big media companies and internet companies that house money in Bermuda, right? This is bigger than just the IB companies here. But regardless, we need to be creative. Bermuda needs to be very creative. I do like that the government is going through a consultation process. My hope is that it's a real consultation process, because we've seen on other issues where they say they're going to do consultation, and then consultation just meant, okay, we met with you, but we're still going to do what we're going to do.
So the hope is that they listen and take the information and really apply it to how it will affect Bermuda. Well, I think that's the other part.
I tell you what, I absolutely have faith that this government will listen to the business leaders, because they don't have any in government, like they don't have any people of that stature, the ability. And I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but outside of Curtis Dickinson, who has really been in that space, right?
Well, but then my next question was, is Sir John going to be on that consultation?
Is who?
Sir John Swan. Is he going to be part of that?
There you go. I mean, it would make sense, right?
Lots of it.
Seeing crazier things happen. Again, folks, the question of the morning. This is our economy. This is our lot. This is our life, our way of living. What can Bermuda do to attract large corporations if it loses its tax advantage? We have Kelly Clark Medeiros. She says, as an employer, it's already hard to keep people here due to cost of living. That's it. I mean, the cost of living is already a deterrent, right? It's already a deterrent. Sam Cat Place says, no, we all know they aren't going to listen to us. And that could be to their detriment. That could be to their detriment. My hope is that we can put egos aside, though, Sam. That's my honest hope, that we can put egos aside and actually listen to one another. Bobby Painter says, it seems to me us as a country need to get back to culture to attract.
Yeah, we do, Jamal. But again, is that going to be enough? And maybe can Barbie explain that a little bit further, exactly what she means specifically?
Yeah. Mark Arthur C. Phillips says, I just did some quick research in the UK. They pay 25% corporate tax. It all depends on what number we place on a corporate tax. Let's not be fools here. We know that this is the big countries trying to put pressure on corporations and squeeze the life out of small economies like Bermuda and Cayman Islands. We know what this is, right? This is them trying to bully us, in my opinion. Some of you may disagree, some of you whatever, and that's fine. But we know what this really comes down to. That's why we need to be creative. Sean DeShield says, there goes Bermuda's competitive strategic advantage as being considered a tax haven, he means. Yeah, I don't think anyone, Sean, that's the sad thing. And that's why the question today is, if we lose this advantage, right, what can we do? Like, what can we do to attract? Look, Sherry said it earlier. We've already been in the hole for tourism. And I think only a fool would believe that we're not in trouble as far as tourism. We have no hotels. Like, in comparison with other jurisdictions, we don't have anything to offer. Flights are over $1,000 basically on average right now. And
Talk about that, Jamal.
This is crazy. Michelle White says, Michelle, got to shorten these comments. It's very large. We all benefit from IB, and certain that our tax structure spread over products and employment is attractive for them to come to Bermuda. Concessions would have to be given to them, which will impact contributions to scholarships, charities, rental properties, etc. Maybe faster processing of their business-related applications. Sean DeShield says, would love to hear from the IB sector that has to say about this new tax proposal. I'm sure they're not impressed. Well, I did reach out to one of the chief executive officers in this sector last evening. I haven't heard back. He did read the message, but I haven't heard back. And once he does, we'll probably get Maya to sit down with a couple of them to see, their thoughts and bring them to the show. I'm not sure any of them would want to do a live, engaging conversation on the show, but I think it's important. I think hearing from them, because you don't really hear from the executives in that space. I think I'm pretty sure they're on board with revising it, but I'm sure they know what the implications will be if it's not favorable to a corporation. Bobby Painter says, I'm speaking on tourism. So for tourism to boost, we need to get back to why they want to visit Bermuda. Tourists to find out what they want. Kelly Clark Medeiros says, medical tourism may be a good way forward for those who can afford health insurance. Access to healthcare is better than many places. Folks, we've got a problem. We've got a problem in Bermuda. We've got a problem. Bermuda could be about to lose its tax advantages that many national corporations really look at Bermuda for.
Yeah, and it's a big problem, Jamal, in the sense of we just don't know, like how are we gonna fix this? And I think it's the layers of everything that we have going on, right? We got tourism going on. We got now you want to enter this on top of it. It's like, and we wonder why everyone's leaving, right? That's a whole nother subject.
Yeah,
let's not throw in the school system,
It's a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm, and we need to be extremely creative. We need to be extremely creative and figure out a way that we can resolve this. Again, you may not step a foot in a company that may be impacted by this, but that company sure as hell may impact your way of living. We need to be creative. We need all hands on deck. I think the consultation process is extremely important. 2025 will be here before we know it. I just think, again, for me, the question is, what can Bermuda do to attract large corporations if it loses its tax advantage? I've given you 3. Location, which has always been one, climate, and safety. Now, I did see a suggestion, which no one said in the audience. Maybe Bermuda can consider looking at joining BRIC. If you're unfamiliar with the BRIC, that's Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Many countries are relooking at how their currencies and tying their currencies to different things. Would that work for Bermuda being so close to the U.S. and the U.S. being its largest trade partner? I don't know. But those things need to be considered. Charles H. Jefferson II says, in my opinion, we need to start looking at how many employees are actually living in Bermuda and contributing to our economy and rewarding employers doing so. The world has changed.
That part, Charles.
Michelle White says, remember that the money from this fee will not stay in Bermuda. It will go to the home country of the company. We need to know how many companies are registered with Bermuda being home country and fees that will come in and stay here. Absolutely. Both of those comments on point.
Yeah.
Both of those comments on point. At the end of the day, it's what's being contributed to the local economy that's going to keep us afloat, right?
No, definitely. And Charles's comment, yeah, who actually is living here and contributing. Walking around Bermuda right now and going into Hamilton, it's just like, what is really going on? It's just like in a weird space. You don't see the hustle and bustle of persons, right? And of course, COVID put us in a space that we know that we could work from home, but it's just the trickle down effect of it all.
Yeah, I was walking through town one day, and I was like, it's a holiday. It was during Cup match week, and like it was empty. And I was just a bit like, wow, where is everybody? Bermuda's changed. Bermuda has changed, and I wouldn't say it's for the better necessarily, but it's changed.
Yeah.
It's I try not to make this political, but a lot of things are reflective of the political state. That's just the reality. I was having a conversation with a CEO last night, and I asked the honest question. I said, obviously coming from me, it'll seem like I'm picking on David Burke, but it can be argued that of the premiers we've had since the late Sir E.T. Richards, David Burke, quite possibly at this point, if he were to resign today, his administration would probably go down as the worst in the history of Bermuda. Now, people say, well, no, prior regimes were racist. Even in their racist state, Black Bermudians were not struggling the way they are now. It seems the only Black Bermudians that are not struggling are those who are comfortable in the IB sector and those who are on a payroll of the government. That's not what, that's not where we should be. And this is, again, not to blame the government, but at the end of the day, the role of the government is to create legislation and policies so that the people of the country can find ways to succeed. Yeah. I don't think we've seen a piece of legislation or policy that's allowing people to do that. What I see is electioneering, giving more in pensions for people, right? Sam Cat Place says BRIC would surely be a big no, Jamal. That would surely hurt Bermuda. I mean, yeah, because the U.S. is its biggest trade partner, but I mean, more and more nations are taking that route. They're going that route, Sam Cat Place. So I mean, I don't disagree at this stage. It would, but time will tell. Sean Smith says Bermuda should play to its strength, like Monaco, who charges 33.33% corporate tax along with 20% VAT tax and has a thriving economy. I always say, Sean, look at places that, I always look at things that you might want to be or people that are doing things that you believe you can do and try to follow suit. There are examples out there. There are examples of where you can be, how you can get there. And there's blueprints for this. Let's bring Maya in. It's time for the Daily Hour News Break. We have Kalyn Cannonier coming up. We're talking with her. She's UpLift Dispensaries. Very interesting time in Bermuda talking about dispensaries. I remember when I was a delegate in the PLP some years ago, and it was a big hell no to anything about decriminalizing or legalizing Mary Jane, weed, hemp, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, and we're talking 15 years later, we're finding to a space where we're having conversations that should have been had a long time ago. Probably another reason why we're in a space as far as our economy, tourism, and the like, why we haven't progressed. But let's bring Maya in for the Daily Hour News Break. Keep your comments coming, folks. Maya.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, Madame. How are you?
Doing well, trying to still keep up with all this new income tax regime stuff. But yeah, it's something. It's something
So,
for sure.
I mean, do you like my ideas? Location, climate, safety. Like, do you like my ideas? Nobody tell me they like my ideas.
Anywho, I think it's I'm just like really, it's definitely a new situation for Bermuda because this used to be something that we were like obviously favored for.
Mhm.
So to change it like this just changes kind of the whole scope of why people even do international business with us. You got to really figure out they got to figure out their why. Like any international business reading this report, I just looked at the consultation. It's about a 12-page report, taking away the introductions and stuff, probably looking at 9 pages. But yeah, it's quite interesting that they go through it and read it. They really got to just find out the why. Why would it still be beneficial for them? And hopefully it still is.
And I think it's all good us giving our suggestions or ideas of what we can do. But truthfully, I think like Bobby Painter said about tourism, ask the tourists. I think we probably should ask the corporations, right? And I think that's what the consultation is all about.
Yeah, 1,000%. And if anyone does have, feedback, put it in that consultation. Drop it in there. Make sure that government sees it, because a lot of times we always talk about it, but we don't really go through the proper channels, as they always say. So if you got something to say it.
Indeed.
All right, good morning, everyone. This is the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Starting out the news this morning, sad incident, but around 8:08 p.m. on Tuesday, the 8th of August, police and other first responders were dispatched to a report of a single vehicle collision involving a motorcycle on Middle Road near the junction with High Point Lane, Southampton. Information suggests that a man was riding a motorcycle headed in an easterly direction when he struck the eastbound lane curb. The man was transported to the hospital where he is being treated for a suspected head injury. Traffic was diverted and minor traffic delays were expected as well. But thankfully, it's still just a head injury, and that's all we know so far.
Wow. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. And head injuries can be quite severe, so wishing him or whoever it is a speedy recovery. Next up in the news break, at the present, there was a presentation that was held by the Bermuda Health Services. St. George's Cup match player Dalray Rollins was a recipient of an award. The award was the Kalyn Bunny Simon Safe Hands Award. The award is sponsored by the Bermuda Healthcare Services, and this year was given to the player who made the most spectacular catch during the iconic two-day match. Mr. Dennis Wainwright, former St. George's wicketkeeper, and his committee choose the winner on behalf of BHCS. The star player proudly accepted the award from the medical director, Dr. Mahesh Reddy. Also in attendance at the brief presentation was Ivan Romain, nephew of Kalyn Bunny Simons. As the Kalyn Bunny Simons Safe Hands Award winner, Dalray Rollins receives a trophy and a $1,000 check courtesy of the sponsor, Bermuda Healthcare Services.
I just want to say congratulations. I mean, Summers kept the cup, but we all know Dalray put on a show, 2 innings of 50, and obviously taking the catch. So, hopefully we could turn that into a bigger trophy next year.
Yes, it was quite great to see Dalray come out from his first performance way back when. So, yeah. All right. Moving on to the next thing. If you're a Barclayite, you probably know about this, or even if you're not, you just support Barclay, you might want to go. So coming up, the Barclay Family Beach Bash is coming through to celebrate 125 years of the school. So the Barclay Society is extending an invitation to all to join the Barclay Family Beach Bash on Saturday, August the 12th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Clearwater Beach in St. George's. There will be games, refreshments, vendors on site for additional snacks and refreshments. This is a free event, but donations are very much so welcomed. So to all the Barclayites or persons who support the school, that's something for you to go to.
I'm glad you said that last part. Like I was going to say, so I can't come because I didn't go to the Barclay.
The Barclay.
It's encouraging any and everyone, but you know how the Barclayites run hard. So.
And they'd be like, what house were you in?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, there you go. But it's all good.
Thank you. Deep. Coming up next in the news break, a lot of things to go to right now, but next up is a vegan fest that's being held. The Bermuda Tourism Authority announces its first ever vegan fest that will take place on August 20th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The inaugural event will journey into wellness and sustainability, featuring a curated selection of 21 vendors stationed at the Royal Navy Dockyard on the North Lawn. The festival aims to foster inclusivity in the culinary landscape, appealing to both visitors and residents alike.
You would love that in it, Jamal.
Yeah, I would love it. I think it's a great idea. Respectfully, I just don't know if that's the mandate of the Bermuda Tourism Authority. I think, just speaking from a professional being in that space outside Bermuda, that's not something that a destination marketing organization should be doing or would be doing. That's something that maybe City of Hamilton would be doing, which they have traditionally been seen doing over the last few years with Jessica and the team over there. So props to them for the event. I hope it goes off well. I would definitely attend. I'm interested to know what cuisine, like Bermudian vegan dishes, like what's a famous Bermuda? Is there a vegan codfish and potato dish or something? I'm curious to see what makes it Bermudian to attract tourists, if that makes sense.
True. I know there are some vendors who literally do pick the wildlife of Bermuda that is edible. I can't remember the vendor's name, but I know that one's pretty significant. I have gone up to her before and tried out some of her cuisines or just pieces.
Yeah.
Like the wildlife, just anything that grows on the island that is edible that some people just don't know about. Most of it is in St. George's. And yeah, so she picks them and she presents them either on different type of palettes or just alone by itself. And I've done that before and it was quite interesting. I was like, okay, I didn't know I could eat this. Yeah. Next up, closing out some of the news today is that some of the players or the athletes from the CAC Games were presented with awards after their stellar performances by the Honorable David Blair and also the Minister of Sports, Owen Darrell. As you can see in the photo there, any bronze medalist received $2,500. So that'd be Dage Miners for his bronze in the 1,500 meter. Kalyn Cannonier has received another $2,500 for her bronze in the women's cycle time trial. Connor White, again, another bronze for men's cycle time. Madeline Moore received $4,000 for her silver in the 50 freestyle, and Emma Harvey clutched $6,500 for her 2 medals, a silver in the women's 50 meter backstroke and a bronze in the 50 meter butterfly.
I just want to say this. It was a pleasure to bump into many of Bermuda's athletes at the field during a cup match. But I know Maya's had him on the show before, and she's done an incredible interview with Dage. But I don't say this lightly because we all have flaws. But he's just an incredible young person. Like, he's just an incredible person, like a decent, good person. And the reason I say that is I really do hope that we get behind him in his prime years and support him financially. We talk about a corporate tax. We need a Bermuda tax to support our athletes, man, because again, he's an example of what we would want most of our athletes. So my props to all the athletes, but Dage in particular, who I've met and been able to have conversations with. I really hope that he does get the support needed so that he can reach the levels that we don't see that often.
I agree. Because I wish Miners was on there to let me know, like, how far would 2,500 really stretch for an athlete who has to train almost every single day and pay the trainers. But some people are obviously training out of the goodness of their heart and just wants to see them, perform at a stellar level. So I'm wondering if a full team, like let's say any full team that was out there at CAC Games, if they got a bronze, you got what, 12 plus players, would they receive 2,500 or more? Questions.
Well, talk to him now, Maya.
Closing out my news break this morning is for the weather. So we got a mix of sun and clouds, a chance of a few passing showers though, but hopefully the wind blows it away so we can get a nice sunny day today. And we have a high of 87 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's going to be hot and humid.
Oh, that stuff. Well,
tell me about it.
I'm not leaving the house. I'm stuffed up and sick, as you guys could tell. And I thought nobody showed up yesterday because they don't want me to get them sick, but don't mind me.
Nobody showed up? I'm here with you.
Oh, Maya, you always show up. You got my back, Maya. Sorry. I meant there's other people,
No, Ava Jamal.
Sorry, what day is it your time? I'm sorry.
Today is Co-working Day. It's a day meant to appreciate the achievements as well as encourage the concept of co-working around the world. You may have once confused the words with co-worker and co-working as related concepts, but they differ remarkably. A co-worker is someone who works in the same company or workspace as you, while co-working is a workspace where people work in different workplaces, but work jointly to execute a particular project or task.
That kind of defines us, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, why is Maya laughing?
Well, I mean, because you were arguing with me right before you went into that. Co-working. Well, happy co-working day, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're celebrating co-working day. And happy co-working day to Larry and Sancha and Phil and everybody else, I guess.
Shanta, Keitha, like we
Whatever.
all.
See their faces, whatever.
But that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Happy co-working day to them as well. All right, let's Maya, you got anything else you want to head up?
That's all I got for you guys today.
You enjoy your day
Awesome.
at 87 degree. Heat and humidity probably feels like 105. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're coming back. Now, let me just put some ground rules. Don't take this conversation as a way that you just want to get high and live up in the sky. We're having a very important educational conversation, all right? Because I know how some of you all are, Sherry. No, we'll see you in a few. Folks, do not go anywhere. You'll be back with Kalyn Cannonier. We are going to take flight. Taking flight. You get it, Sherry?
Oh my gosh. Good.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level.
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Also, folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Well, without further ado, let's bring our guests for the day. And we've got Kalyn Cannonier from UpLift. Folks, please give her a warm TDH welcome like we know how. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good morning.
We're good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Lovely to have you. Well, first off, I honestly have been living under a rock. I did not know about UpLift, so I started reading about you after the cup match because I think you were a partner for the cup match selection night coverage. And those who have been watching this show from the beginning know that I began CBD use probably during the pandemic, right before the pandemic. I have my gummies every now and then. I also do oils and so on. So I'm very much familiar in terms of my usage, really for sleep reasons, to help me sleep at a lot of points. So just want to put that out there so that you all, understand my bias. All right. I'm not a journalist. I'm not Maya. All right.
So, you just put it out there, Jamal. Just like,
they may think I'm too big of a fan of UpLift, but Kalyn, just explain to us, just tell us a bit about yourself and your background before we jump into UpLift and Dispensary.
Okay, so I'm a mother of 2. I've worked in the legal profession for over 10 years. I recently transitioned to the compliance space. So I'm currently working in anti-money laundering, and I've been doing that for about 3 years. And I wrote a book, a poetry book, and I have started 2 businesses since the pandemic.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. Craig Simmons did say on this show that entrepreneurship will be the way out of the current situation we're in economically. So congratulations, and it is possible. That's what. So let's jump into UpLift. What is UpLift, and how did you come up with this idea to start it?
So UpLift is a CBD dispensary located on Burnaby Street. The idea actually came from my sister who co-owns the business with me, Kalyn Cannonier. She is the CEO and creative director. And it all kind of started from the pandemic. She had this brainchild and she introduced it to me, and I was like, okay, how can we make this happen? And so that's how it kind of came about. It all started with my sister.
Okay. And you mentioned it's a dispensary. From what I read, it's Bermuda's first dispensary. Just explain to the audience what is a dispensary.
Mm-hmm. So a dispensary, typically when you go overseas, it's a cannabinoid shop, one-stop shop. So it has all different types of cannabinoids. And we don't have anything like that in Bermuda. So we try to bring that sort of concept to Bermuda as much as possible, but within the guidelines. Obviously, full cannabis is not legalized, it's decriminalized. So we can only use CBD. But we do the best we can with what we have.
That's awesome. And when you talk about doing the best that you can with some of the products, what kind of products do you have? And what are some of the benefits of taking them? I know Jamal mentioned a few for himself, but explain to the audience.
Yeah. So I guess to kind of revert back, it's the most important thing to kind of understand is that we all have an endocannabinoid system within us, and those interact with cannabinoids, and cannabinoids are found in so many different plants, dandelion, cannabis, cacao. That's why when we eat chocolate, we enjoy it, we feel good. So that system interacts with cannabinoids. So these plants are here for a reason, right? Because we have that endocannabinoid system in us. The most common cannabinoids that we hear of today are probably CBD and THC. CBD is non-psychoactive and THC is psychoactive. Like I mentioned before, THC is not legal, it's decriminalized. So we work with CBD. Some of the benefits that you can get from CBD, of taking CBD, relaxation, help with pain management, it combats depression, stress, insomnia. So there's a lot of different benefits that you can get. And then also cannabis itself, the plant it's like a mineral, a vitamin boost. Like it has vitamin K, vitamin C, calcium, iron. So the plant is jam-packed with multiple vitamins and minerals that are good for our body. And some of the products that we have, you did mention that we have gummies, drinks, topicals, lotions, creams that are good for pain, soap, bath bombs, chips, you name it, we got it all.
That sounds like a slogan. Many people think weed is weed, hemp is hemp, but can you explain the difference between CBD and traditional marijuana?
So the big difference is the THC level. That's kind of the way the industry distinguishes the two. So there's less THC in hemp and more CBD. And in marijuana, there's more traces of THC. So more of the psychoactive in the plant of marijuana.
Okay. And what advice would you give to someone considering taking edibles or CBD products?
I would first say talk to your doctor. Because if you're taking any medication, you want to make sure that anything you digest doesn't interact negatively with that. So first talk to your doctor, get some information from your doctor if you're taking any medication, and come into the store and have a conversation with one of our bartenders. They'll be happy to help and explain the different products that we have and go from there.
Folks, if you have any questions or comments for Kalyn, please send them through. We'll get through as many comments and questions as possible. Let's go back, because you did mention the laws. You stated something about THC is illegal. But just explain some still seem confused as to the law when it comes to CBD and marijuana products. What should people know?
So the prime legislation that you want to be aware of is the Misuse of Drugs Hemp Amendment Act 2019, and that basically defines hemp as a cannabinoid that has less than 1% THC. So that actually that 1% is quite big. In other jurisdictions, the percentage is 0.3. So that's one thing to really wow.
I think we lost you a bit, Kalyn. I think we're losing her. So we'll hopefully she'll come back. I think we lost her a bit, but interesting conversation, that Sherry, because I think for years we've had this battle.
Definitely.
We've had this battle, CBD people that are advocating for the use of marijuana products. It's basically been because of they just want to get high. I think for so long we've ignored the education and the benefits for people who are suffering through different stages. Maybe it's cancer or various diseases that it could help. I will be honest. When I was a delegate in the PLP, I was completely against everything.
Really?
Marijuana. I remember standing up in that delegates conference and saying, "Oh, no way." I mean, I was the person. But with education, right? Look, if it's one thing I want everyone in this audience to know about me, and this is real, my mind can be changed. I may feel one way on Monday and feel completely different today.
Well, I just think there's the stigma that has been, of course, put around marijuana for many, many years, right? Going back to the 60s and what was portrayed and what was shown, and persons indicating that this was the gateway to other different things. And it may have been for some people. I don't want to take that away, but it has also been benefits to being able to have CBD, even THC, for exactly what you said, in regards to sleeping, in regards to, you have, vets back in the day and what they may have needed for their PTSD and so forth, anxiety, Parkinson's, cancer. The list goes on in what this can assist, but I think it also means that it does need to be specific to those things. And we do know that marijuana or THC can be of different strands. That's a whole nother show, right? In regards to
there's various strands, but I would encourage the audience, to my point, I would just encourage people to educate themselves, learn, speak to people in this space. Again, my mind can be changed. Anyone's mind can be changed. I think it's so much more to it than just recreational smoking and getting high. And if that's your thing, so be it, as long as you're not putting other people into harm's way. Let's bring Kalyn back in. I think she's good to go. She's back into the conversation. Kalyn, are you there? Hello? You there? Nope, I don't think she's with us. All right, so she's let's check. Kalyn, are you there? Are you with us? Are you with us? Let's see if she's back. Hello, testing. Are you there? All right, no, she's not. Yeah, it's a hard show, folks. It's a hard show. Definitely need strong internet. But let's go to a comment. Philip Trott says, the girls at UpLift do a great job of educating and advising you on what is best for you and how much to take. But we have some interesting questions. Hopefully Kalyn can get back in, because we definitely have some interesting questions. People asking about age limit, right? Is there an age limit? People asking about, CBD over CBC. We have people asking about, do we talk to bud tenders, like bartenders? I like that one, actually, Charles.
I did too, Jamal, because I was like, did she say that? Or but it's that pretty cool.
But I think there's a lot of questions around it. I think there are people, because of the stigma that you mentioned, Sherry, that will never touch it. And to me, that's sad because I think when it comes to our health, we need to be very open. We need to have open minds. And, if we allow this stigma to impact our health, then who's the fool, right?
Right. I mean, as soon as you, not as soon as, but if you get diagnosed with cancer, it's okay for me to do it now. Because but it still may have been assisting you in other ways, but of course you have to check the laws and definitely of where you reside. I know in the state of Georgia, it's not legal. So even for medicinal purposes, apparently you're not able to get past a drug screen for a job purpose. So.
All right. We're going to bring Kalyn back in. We'll bring her back in. I think she's straight now. To answer all of your questions, folks, we have a lot of questions in the audience. So we're going to go straight to the audience. Kalyn, are you with us?
I am. I've had to switch to my phone because for some reason my laptop isn't connecting.
That is fine. That is fine. I think we lost you again. All right, you're there. All right.
Yes, I'm here.
We have quite a few questions from the audience. Philip Trott's asking, what do you say to people who are afraid of the paranoia part of taking edibles?
I would say you want to choose an edible that has low THC. So you want to probably stick with a dosage of maybe 2 grams of THC. The lower the THC level, the less you will feel the psychoactive effects. So if you're wary of having those effects, try to stick with something that's more CBD based.
All right. We've got another question. Karen Edwards Simmons, she's asking, what or is there an age limit to purchase items at UpLift?
Yes, there is an age limit. We started out with 18 about a year ago, and we've recently changed, probably in the last 10 months, we changed to 21. So it's 21.
All righty. Shamari Talbot says, why did you choose CBD over CBC, being that CBC is more beneficial?
CBD is more widely known. It's more widely known, and obviously there's over 100 cannabinoids, and a lot of our products don't just contain CBD. They contain CBN, CBG, so there's a number of different cannabinoids that you can find in our products. CBD is just more widely known and it's legally defined, so that's why we go by a CBD dispensary, but really, we're a cannabinoid dispensary. We have many different cannabinoids.
Cannabinoid. I've been trying to figure out how to say that word the entire show. Cannabinoid. Okay.
Say it, Jamal.
I think I'm getting it right. But Charles H. Jefferson is asking, did you say bud tenders earlier?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's an interesting term. Bud tenders, I like that. Kalyn, how can people get in touch with you should they want to learn more or officially try your products?
You can visit our website, www.upliftbda.com. You can come in store. We're located on 1 Burnaby Street, right next to LiveNet and across from Spot Restaurant. And follow us on social media, Uplift Burmy. So that's Uplift and Burmy, BERMY.
All right, Kalyn, despite the challenges, this was a great conversation. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah.
Please keep in touch. I'll be learning more as time goes by, but all the best to you in this venture, and thank you for doing it. Talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, Kalyn Cannonier, folks. If you appreciated today's conversation, discussion, news break, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share these conversations with your friends, your family. You never know who can benefit from these things, all right? Stick with us. We've got the Daily Play coming up. Cherry thinks she's got it, folks. If she doesn't get it, I'm going to give it to the first person who does. How's that?
Wow, Jamal, the faith. It's the faith for me.
I mean, you came out real confident. I want you to get it. Give us a thumbs up.
Confidence did keep us with the cup in Somerset.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, we'll be right back. Whatever. Cheers.
Hi, welcome to ER Fisheries. I'm Jalen Steed, store manager and trained chef, and I'm here to help you with all of your food needs. Let's talk about why you should come and check out ER Fisheries. We offer the widest range of specialty meats and seafood items at a price point that will absolutely fit your budget. As a chef, I'm able to answer all of your food questions, help you come up with meal ideas, and generally guide you in the right direction. You'll get a custom shopping experience unlike any other food store in Bermuda, where we'll cater to your needs and provide you with excellent customer service. Where else can you get quality cooking advice and quality products? I look forward to helping you with all your meal ideas.
All right, welcome back to this big show. Thanks again to Kalyn Cannonier from UpLift for the conversation today. Really appreciate it. Again, folks, if you appreciated today's discussion, news break, and our guests, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Very easy to do. Just show us some love. Make sure you share these conversations with your friends and family. You never know who can benefit from the information that is shared on the Daily Hour. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have these conversations with you on a regular basis. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sherry, are you ready?
I am ready, Jamal. I am ready.
All right, it's music today. Here we go. What song do these lyrics belong to? Help her out, folks. Let me get my timer ready. Hold on. All right. What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain?
Give me a hint, Jamal.
It's a Jackson.
Tito, Jermaine, Michael, Janet. Was it Janet?
You're guessing the name. The question said, "What song do these lyrics?"
Oh,
Oh, no one got it. But this song is "Earth Song" by Michael Jackson. If you know me,
sing it.
That's my favorite. There you go, Stacey Ann Brown. Stacey, hit us up. Engage at thedailyhour.com, and we'll get over to you a travel mug. But again, folks, it's the question was the song, not the artist. All right, Earth Song by Michael Jackson. If you've ever watched this show, you would know that's my favorite Michael Jackson song ever.
I guess, Jamal.
My favorite Michael. You don't know Earth Song?
I can't hear it the way that you sing it for me.
No, I'm not singing it for you. You didn't pay me. Nope. That's right. I had an instance song. Yes, Mark got it. Yeah, that's the best Michael Jackson song ever made. What's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
I like the one that he did with Janet. What is that one called?
Scream?
I think it's the dance portion of it in the video for me.
Video, boy. That was a bad video.
Yeah, that was a bad video. Definitely. So
yeah, Earth Song. That's my jam. Sherry, make sure you hit up Earth Song after the show. President, good morning to you, sir. President.
Yes, President, and we can't forget Dion Stovall talking about really.
What did he do?
Did he not make history? I'm just wondering.
What history?
A century, 2 years in a row.
A couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
He did that. I think Dion's the best cricketer in Bermuda, if I'm honest. I think simply the best all-rounder cricketer in Bermuda. Now, I know people would say Delray, but I think Dion's been consistent over the years. So, I mean, I love the way he has presented himself. And remember, people forget, he was dropped from Somerset at one point. But moving on from Cotton Match.
You know what, Jamal? We have a lot going on this island, right? Just a tremendous amount of situations and things that we seem to keep getting under and not on top of. I love what Maya said. What is the business's why, but what is Bermuda's why? Why are we doing what we're doing? For what purpose? You know, and we need to figure out and get in front of a lot of these things, but it just feels like everything just keeps going. So we definitely need to come up with some better plans and solutions and be consistent with it. In regards to UpLift, Bermuda needed this, right? Bermuda needs this dispensary. We need to not look at it so negatively, but also, be uplifting about it. See how I did that? And so I love what the ladies are doing, and I wish them much success.
Yeah, I agree with Sancha. Sherry is not an MJ fan to not know our song, but it's okay. It's okay. We're not all. I want to say this. I think everyone needs to have their eyes and their attention on this corporate tax thing. You may be a cashier at a gas station. You could be a hairstylist. You could be someone who works in media, advertising. It doesn't matter. It will likely impact you. Pay close attention to the consultation process. Our lives depend on it. And I don't think I'm fear mongering. I just think we need to pay more attention to how our economy works. As far as Kalyn Cannonier, congratulations to her and her sister. I believe she said Miss Chalet on the venture. I think times have changed. This is a sign that we do have an evolving space in Bermuda. I did not think we would be here based on what I witnessed as a delegate in the PLP in the late 2000s, but here we are. And I would tell people, don't just go and try anything. Speak to your doctor, as she stated. Speak to a professional. Speak to someone. But I would advise against just trying anything. Speaking from experience, right? Sherry, you got some daily inspiration for us?
I do, Jamal. And our daily inspiration is being brought to you by ER Fisheries and Foods. Stay away from those people who try to disparage your ambitions. Small minds will always do that, but great minds will give you a feeling that you could become great too. And that's from Mark Twain.
Indeed, indeed. And before we head out, just want to share from Richard Scott, president of SUMS, says it's important for each of us to accept responsibility, to do our part, whatever that part is, and to do it with everything in us, with the goal of doing it to the best of our ability for the benefit of us all, not just us individually. We got 2 inspirational quotes. Thank you so much for that.
I was going to say the same thing, Jamal. I was like, well, Richard could have took that up.
Yeah, indeed. But folks, please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Windows, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this for you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. And before we go, Sherry has been pestering me and bothering me and downright annoying me. Folks, as of this morning, you can now watch the replay of Hot Match Selection Night coverage just by going on bcgtv.com. All almost 8 hours are on the website at your pleasure, your leisure to watch. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.